Hi, hello, I'm Marina, you know, that one girl that likes to talk a lot about houseplants. And welcome to Millennial Planter. Today I am sharing my top 7 underrated houseplants, my most underrated houseplants, the houseplants that I either barely hear about or just haven't heard of at all until I somehow acquired them into my collection. And I'm so excited to share some of these houseplants with you, and they're definitely houseplants you need in your collection if you don't have them. And if you do happen to have them, send me pictures, DM me pictures over on Instagram. You can follow me on there, it's the same handle, Millennial Planter. Send me pictures of yours, show me how mature they are, how beautiful they are, how easy they are for you. And also, while you're at it, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I talk a lot about houseplants. You're watching a houseplant video, so I'm assuming you like them, and I would love to have you in the community. With all that being said, let's get into some underrated houseplants. First, I am going to start with probably one of my top favorites, and definitely one that doesn't get the airtime that it deserves. And I'm gonna say it's probably because it's not the easiest plant. So here we have my adorable little Diani Dual, and look at how cute this is, how prehistoric. I absolutely love this plant. If you look closer, you can see it's kind of hairy. It has a hairy petiole, but they're very soft hairs. They're not hairy like the Philodendron squamiferum. They're just like very almost velvety. And it's so nice and it's so cute. I love this plant because it is so prehistoric looking. And let's talk about it because this is not the easiest plant, not even gonna lie. My friend actually, we did a trade and she was so sweet to send me 2 of these. Basically, they just start out as seeds, big seeds. They kind of look like eggs. I like to call them little eggs. And these eggs had already sprouted and they were roots. One of them actually ended up molding and didn't make it. This one though, I held on to for 9 months. Yes, friends, 9 months, if not longer, before it finally gave me this beautiful, adorable little leaf. And even then, the process, the time it took from when it was a little fruit roll up to when it was opened like this took weeks. And it was in my grow tent. I was spraying it every day. I was giving it humidity and light, and it took forever. So this plant definitely will test your patience. I even posted about it on Instagram, and that was the general consensus with other people as well on this plant. But I would highly recommend upping the humidity and even upping the watering a little bit. You would think with plants like this, maybe they wouldn't need as much water. At least that's kind of like my concept. I didn't think that they would need not much water, but I feel like when I upped the watering, that really helped this process speed up just a little bit. But in general, they are just really slow growers. I don't even know how long it's gonna take to get my next leaf. Hopefully not a year, not another 9 months, because I want 2 leaves. They're just so funky and cool when they have different leaves, and all the leaves grow in different areas, different directions. And yeah, I love this plant so much. The foliage is something like you don't see every day in everyday collections. So definitely a must. I need more plants like this. And that's really what I'm aiming for this next probably year and coming into like growing season when I order plants. I want to collect more funky shaped plants, more plants that aren't really heard of often, but not because they're like rare, commercially rare, just that people don't give them the time. And you know, that's why we're here. But yeah, Diani I always say that. Diani Dual. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but she's just so cute. Now we're going to go to a philodendron I literally have never heard of until I did a trade. And I'm not even sure how to correctly pronounce this, but this is Philodendron subincinum. I don't know, but look at this. So Obviously, this is the newest leaf it just came out with. It's so shiny and pretty, and it's such a really like dark green type of color. These are some of the older leaves, some of the less mature leaves, and as it matures, you can kind of see it on this one. They start to get really ripply and really heart-shaped in true philodendron form, and it's so exciting. I'm so excited to see this plant mature. It's already coming out with a new leaf, and it's such an easy philodendron for me. I don't remember if I rooted this plant or not, but either way, like it's grown so fast for me. It's done so much for me, and I never hear people talk about this philodendron. Like I said, I have never heard of this before. I don't know if it goes by another name. If you know that by chance, definitely let me know in the comments. But it's so cute. It's so pretty. It's kind of wonky right now, leaning towards the light. So I've had to rotate it so it can even itself out. But I can't wait to share updates. This plant has already like sized up super fast. I've had this one since September of last year. So around 8 months, and I'm really happy with this progress. It's putting out some good bigger leaves. It's giving me leaves pretty readily, pretty fast. So yeah, can't wait to see this one grow. Can't wait to mature it and get those big, beautiful leaves. And as you can tell, or if you can't tell, it is a climber. So it's gonna keep going up, and I'm definitely going to give it something to support itself. I am so I don't think I've shared this, but I'm kind of in the process of really giving moss poles and planks a chance. So I'm not sure. Right now I'm leaning towards planks. Honestly, they're just way easier maintenance than moss poles and having to water moss poles every day, because that's annoying and very time consuming. So I don't know what we're gonna do with this one. Maybe we'll do a moss pole, maybe we'll do a plank. I'll keep y'all updated. We'll do it together in a plant vlog. But yeah, Philodendron subsistinum. I feel so silly when I say that word. If you can phonetically spell the word for me in the comments, if you know how it's generally said, definitely let me know. Okay, so plant number 2, we are going to go, actually, since we were just talking about planks, I will give a shout out to my Rhaphidophora cryptantha. So I feel like maybe these plants had their time a year or 2 ago, but I feel like I haven't really heard a lot about it recently, especially the cryptantha. When it comes to shingly plants, I feel like a lot of people mention Monstera dubia. I realized when it comes to shingling plants, once you get them rooted in whatever substrate, they're really, really tiny. Very tiny leaves, and it's kind of hard to get them potted up and established. But this one, luckily, after I had it in moss for months, it was just growing like crazy. I finally decided to take the plunge and pot this up, and I was just like, you know what, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. If you die, you die. And look at it, it has made it. I potted it up sometime last summer, last growing season, and it took a while to get established, but you can see it's finally starting to attach slowly but surely to the wood. Like these pieces here aren't attached like this here, so they're flat up against there, so that just means it's starting to climb, and I am so excited. It even has a little baby down there that's growing. It shot out that vine after I potted it up, and the leaves way down here are the original leaves that were super small, but these leaves look like they might be attaching too, but you can see, like, look at my fingernail compared to that leaf. Like, it is teeny tiny. So I feel like this is a lot more hardier than the dubia. I just left it in a pot. I gave it some sphagnum moss to kind of up the ambient humidity around it, and it's been doing well. It is on a cedar plank. This is as tall as it's going to get, and then maybe I will have my boss help me make an attachment for it, because I really want to get some really big juicy leaves on this, and hopefully now, since it's a climbing, I'll get some bigger leaves. And the pattern on it is just so pretty. It kind of reminds me of lightning strikes, and as they mature, it just gets better, and it's going to be so cool to watch mature and to watch climb. And when it comes to planks, you don't have to moisten them or wet them like you do with moss poles. ambient humidity is really key. So once you have humidity right in whatever area, your plant room, wherever you keep your plants, your bedroom, once the humidity is right, plants will just climb literally anything. Like they climb houses, they climb trees, they climb wood. I would say moss is probably like the hardest thing to get them to climb, but right humidity is key to getting them grow. And also tape. Tape really helps a lot, although I've been using whatever I've had, but right now Velcro, plant Velcro, definitely something to experiment with and try. And you definitely need to get a shingling plant in your collection because they're just so much fun. So next we are going to go to a Hoya. Are you surprised? Were you expecting a Hoya in this? So I know Hoya are quite popular right now. And I don't know if this Hoya is really popular. I mean, I'm in a lot of Hoya Facebook pages and I watch a lot of Hoya content, and I haven't seen anybody mention this one. I've seen it on Instagram here and there, and honestly it just made me fall more in love with this plant because when they're lush and full, oh, they're just so pretty. And it is Hoya, another name I can't pronounce, Kenya Kumarian. Yeah, but there she is. You can see her little leaves there, how they're ruffled and frilled and they're small, and she has that new little tendril there. So obviously she is just a wee little baby, but I love her so much. I love how her leaves are frilled and so small and delicate, but they're also thick and firm, almost like cardboard. I saw a Lushful one actually on Instagram, and I was just absolutely swooning because it is just the cutest little thing. And I like Hoyas that don't look like Hoyas. Like Hoya maniparensis has little platypus-like leaves, and they're just so cute. And that's how I feel about this one. Like, I'm not even gonna be mad if you don't bloom for me for a while. I just want her to be lush and have like long tendrils. Super obsessed, super cute. Once again, another plant I didn't know existed until I got it in a trade. And also another reason why I'm an advocate for trading plants, because you can always throw in like little different plants here and there. Like I like trading one main plant, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna throw in a couple cuttings of other plants. And it's just a really fun way to grow your collection and get plants you never heard of. Plant number 5 is a plant that I really want more of. It is a Codex plant, and it is Stephania erecta. So look at how cute those little circular leaves are. I'm not sure if that yellowing is from nutrient deficiency or from too much light, or I don't know. I'm still figuring this plant out, but it just recently gave me all of those cute little leaves at the top, and this plant is so cute. It is so precious. It comes as a little potato or a Codex, and you have to root it and you have to grow it. And this is another plant that will also try your patience and take a while, but it still didn't take as long as a Diani Dual. And this is also another plant that high humidity and more frequent watering than you think really helps. And that's kind of where I'm at right now learning with this plant. I am learning that sweet spot with the watering. So I don't want to overwater it because that Codex does store water, but then it needs more water than what I was giving it. And I feel like once I upped the watering is when it started shooting out all this top growth here, because it did just stay with this leaf and this one for the longest time, and now I feel like I got the hang of it and I'm excited. I can't wait to see it grow. I mean, eventually it's just going to be one long vine of these cute little circular lily pads almost, and I'm probably gonna have to put it on a trellis or something, but it's just so pretty seeing them when they're long and established. The downside of these plants is that they do have a tendency to go dormant in the winter. So I guess similar to alocasias, and I think it's just a temperature thing. But I'm hoping with my plant room's upstairs, and upstairs in my house stays pretty warm, that it won't go dormant and drop all its leaves for me in the winter. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see. But Codex plants are really cool and definitely something I want to add more of in my collection, just because they have some of the funnest shapes and funky foliage that I just love. And yeah. Stephania erecta. Let me know if you have one of these, because these I feel like kind of come and go in waves. Like I'll see a lot of people get them at once, or a lot of people hear about them, or a lot of people posting about them at once, and then they just kind of drop off and I don't hear about them at all. So let me know if you have one in the comments, how it's growing for you. Is yours super long and established, or is yours just kind of like stagnant? Now plant number 6, actually, oh, well, we're gonna go to my last philodendron. And it is a philodendron I've mentioned before, but it's Philodendron Peltatum. And you guys, can you even believe how big this plant has gotten? Like how lush it's gotten? I love this plant so much. Once again, another plant that I saw actually at a plant swap. One of my friends gave it to me in a plant swap, and I never heard of it, and I didn't really know what it looked like. So I just said yes, because why not? And it was an unrooted cutting, and this was the original leaf. So I had to root it out, and now I have grown it to this, and this is the newest leaf it's putting out for me. Almost giving pastizanum vibes, but it also has like a silvery type of sheen to it, like a mame. And then it's a crawling plant, so eventually I'm going to have to put it in a longer pot so it can just crawl all it wants. Watching this plant grow has been so much fun, and I don't know if this plant maybe also goes by another name, so if you know, let me know in the comments. But I feel like a lot of plants, like a lot of growers come out with these different cultivars that are all pretty much the same. They just call it different names so that they can make money. That might be a juicy topic, but I have for sure seen some of the same plants called different names. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Philodendron Peltatum is definitely one I would highly, highly recommend. It is such an easy plant for me, and it is so pretty. I never realized this leaf really does look like my McDowell leaf. Look at these two leaves together. Do they not look similar? They look similar. But my pastizanum, which I think might be a McDowell, I don't know. This one's never given me silver like this one has, like the Peltatum has. So that's interesting. These crawling plants are very interesting and a lot of fun to grow. And I've grown my pastizanum out huge and cut it back, and still when it gave me those little juvenile leaves, it never gave me silver. This one kind of just reminds me of a cloud. I don't know, it's just, it's so pretty. This is just one of my favorite plants, honestly. And I feel like the more it grows, the more I love it. So Philodendron Peltatum, definitely highly recommend if you can find one. I don't really know how readily available that plant is, or any of these plants. So next is a Philodendron faker, a Philodendron Impostor. It actually was a philodendron at one time, but it has been reclassified as Rhaphidophora spersianum. And editing Marina here. I don't know why, for the life of me, I kept calling this plant Rhaphidophora. Like in my head, it felt wrong, and in my head, I was like, this isn't right. It's not a Rhaphidophora. Thematophyllum. It's a thematophyllum, which makes so much more sense. Like I knew it was a thematophyllum. Total brain fart. So here's me calling it a Rhaphidophora for the next, I don't know, 4 minutes. I'm sorry. If you know these plants, you know once they mature, they completely morph into a different shape, which is really cool. I'll have a mature picture plant here, and look at that compared to the immature leaf. It's crazy, and it's pretty crazy to think about that they just change shape. I heard they start getting those mature split leaves really fast, so I'm hoping with the next leaf it'll look slightly different, slightly more mature than this one. But I actually just recently got this plant for Mother's Day, and I love it so much. It used to be called Philodendron Goldie Eye, and I don't hear about this plant enough either. I would say I hear about it more often than any of the other plants that I've mentioned, but not often enough. Doesn't get the time that it needs. And this one actually was only $22 on plantcanopyco.com, so super affordable. I'm not sure if they have it available right now. I'll leave a link down below if you want to get your hands on one. Just came across them and fell in love with this plant. It's so cool, and it gives the perfect jungle vibes. So I really can't wait to grow it out and just get a big one, and I have no clue where I'm gonna put it, but it's gonna be so pretty, and I'm so excited. Well, that wraps it up for my top 7 most underrated houseplants. I loved this video so much. Somebody suggested it for me in my community tab. So if you ever have video recommendations, I would love to make them. Leave them in the comments or on my community tab underneath any of my posts. Let me know what underrated plants you have in your collection, because I want to add them to my collection. I just love having funky foliage, and I find myself more drawn to plants that I don't see on Instagram all the time, because, you know, like, I want my collection to be unique, and I don't want to grow what everybody else is growing, but I also don't want to get in like the super rare realm. Like, there's a fine line. I'm not trying to pay $1,000 for like a super variegated rare plant, but it's not really that special. Okay, anyways, this is another topic for another day. Let me know your underrated houseplants in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you're all staying safe, sane, happy, and healthy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.